ITN at 12:30. That follows London Today with Angus Scott.
Good afternoon. Buckingham Palace announced this morning that the funeral of Diana, Princess of Wales, will take place at Westminster Abbey on Saturday. She will then be buried at the Spencer family home at Althorpe in Northamptonshire. Buckingham Palace said it would be a unique funeral for a unique person. There will be no lying in state. Her body will remain at the Chapel Royal at St James's Palace, where it was taken early today. On Saturday morning, her coffin will be carried in procession the 1.5 miles from the Chapel Royal to Westminster Abbey. The route to be followed will be Marlborough Road, the Mall, Horse Guards Road, Horse Guards Parade and Horse Guards Arch, Whitehall, Parliament Street, Parliament Square and Broad Sanctuary. This lunchtime, feelings across the capital remain those of disbelief, shock and a sense of enormous loss.
If London is the focal point for national mourning today, it is nothing to what it will be on Saturday. The decision to hold Princess Diana's funeral at Westminster Abbey was announced by Buckingham Palace with the words, "A unique funeral for a unique person." The last time the Abbey saw scenes like this, 1979, after the murder of Earl Mountbatten. Today, the Princess's body lay in the chapel at St James's Palace, the London home of her former husband, the Prince of Wales. Outside, the public queued to sign a book of condolence. Meanwhile, outside Kensington Palace, more flowers, more sadness.
She was so beautiful, so good-humoured, good-natured. I just felt it was my duty to come down and pay my respects.
Easy to knock people down, but it's the good that lasts much longer than the bad, and I think, her failings, her weaknesses were human ones that we could all relate to.
For the second day, London woke up to a shared sense of loss. On packed commuter trains into the capital, there was only one story to read in the morning papers.
I thought she was brilliant for the country, and she did a lot for kids, and she's going to be missed badly. I don't think about it until she's gone, but whole family's in shock.
The city paid its respects to Princess Diana. Trading on the London International Financial Futures and Options Exchange came to a standstill as traders observed a minute's silence. Later, the London Metal Exchange paused in the same way, and Lloyd's of London will do so this afternoon. But it's at London's royal palaces that the nation's grief is most evident. At Buckingham Palace, tourists can no longer walk up to the railings. The carpet of flowers has grown all morning. And at Windsor Castle, another floral shrine to Diana.
Her friendliness, the way, her tactile, touching people, she wasn't ashamed to touch people. I just thought she was wonderful. No, I think it's a very big loss to the country.
Harrods reopened this morning, less than 24 hours after the owner's son, Dodi Al-Fayed, was laid to rest in a Surrey cemetery. But if the rich, the famous and the glamorous came today, it wasn't to shop. It wasn't to pay with cash or credit cards, but to pay their respects. Flowers and messages lined the Knightsbridge pavements. Another book of condolence was opened inside the store. Some bouquets came from customers, some from friends, but many from people who never knew Dodi. To them he was simply the man who made Diana happy again. Details of her final journey to Westminster Abbey and the service itself are still to be finalised, but many have welcomed the decision to hold the funeral there.
It's quite clear that the public needs to be able to express its pain and sorrow on this occasion, doesn't it? So I think it's probably quite the best thing.
Well, I think she should have a dignified one, but she's so well known, she's so well loved, that I think, the public should be able to go and pay their last respects at least, whether they've left the flowers or not.
The Abbey will hold 2,000 invited mourners. Those in the streets outside will number many, many more. At Westminster Abbey, this is Simon Harris for London Today.
It's emerged today that Harrods boss Mohammed Al-Fayed had consulted lawyers about ways of stopping press intrusion days before the death of his eldest son Dodi and Diana. Meanwhile, French police have been given more time today to question the 7 photographers arrested after the car accident. 6 are French, 1 is Macedonian. A lawyer for Mr. Al-Fayed has already said that he will bring a civil suit. Speaking on French television, Bernard Dartval didn't name the target of the suit, but he did criticise photographers for hounding Diana and Dodi Fayed. He said he would bring the suit as soon as the French judicial inquiry was opened. At 1:20, we have a specially extended edition of London Today. We'll be reporting live from Buckingham Palace. It's virtually become a place of pilgrimage for people wanting to express their sorrow with floral tributes. There are also books of condolence there, 4 of them, says the Palace, in order to reduce delays for people queuing. We'll also have live reports from the other key locations around the capital.
I'm outside St James's Palace, where the body of Princess Diana is now lying at the foot of the altar inside the Chapel Royal. 4 books of condolence have been set up for people to sign. Thousands are now filing past it. The irony will not be lost. This is the London home of the Prince of Wales. It was his express wish that Princess Diana should begin her last journey from here on her way to her funeral at Westminster Abbey on Saturday.
I'll have the latest from Knightsbridge in Harrods, which has become yet another focal point, as we've seen, for people in London to express their sorrow at the deaths of Dodi Al-Fayed and Princess Diana. The public too have been showing their appreciation and their contentment at the happiness that Dodi brought her in the final weeks of her life.
Before we go, a recap on the main development this morning. Buckingham Palace has announced that the funeral of Diana, Princess of Wales, will take place at Westminster Abbey on Saturday. She will then be buried at the Spencer family home at Althorpe. That's it. I'll be back with a specially extended edition of London Today at 1:20.
Good afternoon. Some more rain by the middle of the week, but in between a quieter interlude, some sunshine for all of us, but some of that quite hazy. Not surprising, looking at that satellite picture, a lot of high cloud out there. Fairly innocuous stuff though, and most of us should escape with a dry afternoon, a bright one, a breezy one too. Just the outside chance of the odd shower, especially to the northwest of London, but very few of us will catch one of those. Temperatures around 20 or 21 Celsius, 22 if you're lucky. That's not bad for early September, despite the breeze. This evening and overnight, any showers will quickly die away. A fine night to come, but as those temperatures dip down to around about 9 Celsius in a few spots, it will turn a shade misty, but most places escaping. And tomorrow, well, another fine day to come with spells of hazy sunshine. Here's the summary.